Hello everyone. After watching the first and the second MATLAB activity for class 11, I am here with the third MATLAB activity, which is to plot the graphs of sin x, sin 2x, 2 sin x and sin x by 2 using same coordinate axis. Now, this is going to be the objective of the activity to plot graphs of sin x, sin 2x, 2 sin x and sin x by 2 using the same coordinate axis. Again, we don't need much. We need plywood, the squared paper or the simple graph paper, adhesive, the ruler, colored pens, and the eraser. The method of construction, it's not a very difficult activity, but yes, you need to have that skill of plotting the graph neatly and properly. So you need to take a plywood of size 30 centimeter by 30 centimeter. On the plywood, paste a thick graph paper of size 25 centimeter by 25 centimeter. Now, if you do not have a graph sheet of 25 centimeter by 25 centimeter, you can join two graphs, or you can reduce the scale of the graph, draw two mutually perpendicular lines on the squared paper and take them as the coordinate axis, and graduate the two axes as shown in the figure 1. Now, I'll show it to you how we are going to do it. I take the graph sheet. You can see a tight joining line over here. So I have joined the two graphs to get me a complete graph sheet, which is going to be a longer one. So I start marking the axis. So this is how I mark the axis. This x-axis represents the angles, which is in radians, and the y-axis represent the values of the trigonometric ratios. So here on x-axis, I have taken pi by 12 as the difference between the two intervals. 1 centimeter is representing pi by 12 radians. So I take pi by 12. Then I take 2 pi by 12, which is pi by 6. 3 pi by 12, which is pi by 4. 4 pi by 12, which is pi by 3. 5 pi by 12. 6 pi by 12, which is pi by 2. 7 pi by 12. 8 pi by 12, which is 2 by 3 pi. 9 pi by 12, which is 3 upon 4 pi, 10 pi by 12, which is 5 upon 6 pi, 11 pi by 12, and 12 pi by 12, which is how much? It is going to be pi only. 13 pi by 12, I've missed out. 14 pi by 12 comes out to be 7 pi by 6. 15 pi by 12, 16 pi by 12 is again 4 upon 3 pi, 17 pi by 12, 18 pi by 12, which is 3 upon 2 pi, 19 pi by 12, 20 pi by 12, which is 5 pi by 3, 21 pi by 12, 22 pi by 12, which comes out to be 11 pi by 6, 23 pi by 12, and finally 24 pi by 12, which comes out to be 2 pi. So now I'll start plotting the graph, keeping in mind the various values of sin x, sin 2x, 2 sin x, and sin x by 2. So I'll make a table for that. So prepare a table of ordered pairs for sin x, sin 2x, 2 sin x, and sin x by 2 for different values of x as shown in the table below. So here's my table. I know that sin 0 is 0. Sin pi by 12 means what? Is sin 15. Sin pi by 6 is sin 30. Sin 30, I know it is half, so it is 0.5 written here. Sin pi by 4 is how much? Sin 45, which is 0.71. Sin pi by 6 is sin 60, 0.86. Sin 5 pi by 12, 0.97. Sin pi by 2, which is 1. 7 pi by 12 is 0.97. Sin 2 pi by 3 is 0.86. Sin 9 pi by 12 is 0.71. Sin 5 pi by 6 is 0.50. Sin 11 pi by 12 is 0.26. And sin pi is 0. Exactly the same way. If I take to be 0, sin 2x means sin 0. If I take x to be as pi by 12, then sin 2x will mean sin pi by 6, which is 0.50. If I take x to be as pi by 6, sin 2x will become sin pi by 3. That means sin pi by 3 is now 0.86, so I write 0.86 here. So this is how I'm going to complete the table, taking x equal to whatever are these values. I'll find out sin 2x, and accordingly I can find out the value from here. Then 2 sin x means double of this sin x. So it was how much? It was 0, so double of 0 is 0. 0.26, double of 0.26 is 0.52. Double of 0.5 is 1. Double of 0.71 is 1.42, and so on. Sin x by 2 means sin 0 by 2, which is sin 0. If x is equal to pi by 12, sin x by 2 will mean sin pi by 24, which is 0.13. If x is equal to pi by 6, sine x by 2 will mean sine pi by 12. Sine pi by 12 was how much? 0.26. And accordingly, I can write this table. So this is how we are going to make the table. Once the table is done, I need to plot these ordered pairs. So I'll plot 0, 0. I'll plot pi by 12 and 0.26, pi by 6, comma 0.50, pi by 4, comma 0.71, pi by 3, comma 0.86, and so on to get the graph of sin x. So once the axes are graduated, I'll be making the ordered pairs x sin x, x sin 2x, x2 sin x, and x sin x by 2 and plotting them on the graphs. And then I'll be joining these ordered pairs, the points obtained by freehand curves, and I can use different colors. So let me see how it is to be done. I took the axis and I started plotting. If you remember, this is the curve for sin x. So I know that sin 0 is 0, sin pi by 4 is 0.71, sin pi by 2 is 1, sin pi is 0. So accordingly, I have just got the points and I join them with a smooth curve. So this is the first line of sin x. If I could have continued, it could have gone like this. Okay. Now, next, let us try to take the second thing. I take the curve of sin 2x now. Sin 2x was sin, if I take x is equal to 0, sin 2x will mean sin 0. So it is here. If I take x equal to pi by 4, then sin 2x becomes sin pi by 2, which is 1. If I take x equal to pi by 2, it will mean sin 2 into pi by 2, which will mean sin pi. Sin pi is 0, so I get it here. Accordingly, I'll be just plotting the points and I'll be getting my second curve like this of sin 2x. So sin 2x, you can see it is having the peak at x equal to pi by 4 and its height is how much? Maximum height obtained is 1. So next I try to plot 2 sin x. 2 sin x means if sin 0 is 0, then 2 sin x comes out to be 0, 2 sin 0, which is 0. Now, if I take x to be as pi by 2, so 2 sin x will mean twice of 2 sin pi by 2, which is twice of 1, which is equal to 2. If I take x equal to pi, then 2 sin pi will mean twice of sin pi, that means twice of 0, which is equal to 0. So I just try to join these points with a smooth curve. The last thing left to represent is sine x by 2. So let me tell you how do we do that. Sine x by 2 is this graph that I have. So if I take x equal to pi by 6, what do I get? I get it is sine of pi by 12. I can put the value. If I take x is equal to pi by 3, then it will, sine x by 2 will mean sine of pi by 6. Sine pi by 6 will mean what? Sine 30 degrees. So sine 30 degrees is 1 by 2. So I get this point as 0.50. If I take x to be as pi by 2, sine x by 2 will mean what? Sine x by 2 will mean sine pi by 4, which is equal to 0.71. So I just plot the point here. Then if I take x to be as pi, then sine x by 2 will mean sine pi by 2, which is equal to 1. So I just plot the point here. And accordingly, same way, I'll plot the points. And I know that if I take x to be as 2 pi, then sine x by 2 will become sine 2 pi by 2, which is equal to sine pi, which is going to be 0. So my last point is going to come 0, and I'll just join them with a smooth curve. So again, I've taken 4 different colors. I have taken pink color for sin x. I have taken black color for sin 2x. I took blue color for 2 sin x, and I've taken green color for sin x by 2. So once all this is done, my graph is ready, and I'm ready to note down my observations. Let us try to note down the observations. So the graphs of sin x and 2 sin x are of the same shape, but the maximum height of graph of sin x is dashed in the maximum height of the graph of this. So let us try to find out the answers for this. So this is the graph that we had drawn. I take the graph of sin x. Graph of sin x is what? The graph of sin x is this one. You can see that sin x and 2 sin x, you can see they are of the same shape, the pink and the blue graphs. But the maximum height of sin x, is what? When x is equal to pi by 2, sin x is coming out to be 1. So that is the maximum height. The maximum height of graph of 2 sin x is what? It is how much? It is coming out to be 2. 2 when x is equal to pi by 2, 2 sin x is coming out to be 2. So that is the maximum height. So I can say that the graphs of sin x and 2 sin x are same, but the maximum height of the graph of sin x is half the maximum height of the graph of 2 sin x. So this is what is the first part. Let us go on to the second one. The maximum height of the graph of sin 2x is dash. Sin 2x was which graph? Sin 2x was this graph. So the maximum height of this graph is coming out to be 1 only. It is coming out to be 1. So I'll just write here 1. And it is at what place? It is at x equal to pi by 4. Let us come to the third one. The maximum height of graph of 2 sin x is what? I just now found out that the maximum height of graph of 2 sin x is how much? It is 2. And it is at what point? It is equal to x equal to pi by 2. So let us go on to the next set of observations. So let us try to just find out the maximum height of sin x by 2. Sin x by 2 was which graph? Sin x by 2 was this graph. And its maximum height is what? It is given by x equal to pi, and the height is coming out to be 1. So I'll be just writing the answers. It's 1, and it is at x by 2 equal to pi by 2, because x is equal to pi, you're getting the maximum height. So at x by 2, it is coming out to be pi by 2. At x equal to dash, sin x is equal to 0. Let us find out at what value is sin x equal to 0. Sin x was this curve, isn't it? So it is 0 at x equal to 0 and x equal to pi. At x equal to 0 or x equal to pi, I could have written anyone. Sin x is equal to 0. At x equal to dash, sin 2x equal to 0. Sin 2x is what curve? Sin 2x is this curve. So this is 0 at x equal to 0, x equal to pi by 2, or x equal to pi. So I can write any one of them. I write here pi by 2. At x equal to dash, sin x by 2 is equal to 0. So sin x by 2 is equal to again 0 at 2 points. It is x equal to 0, x equal to 2 pi. So I can write here any one of them. I can write either 0 or I can write 2 pi. Next, let us see the next part. In the interval 0 to pi, 0 to pi means this interval. At the interval 0 to pi, the graphs of sin x, 2 sin x, and sin x by 2 are dash x-axis. So let us see between the interval 0 to pi, the graph of sin x, this pink graph, the graph of 2 sin x. 2 sin x is what? This graph, and the graph of sin x by 2, this graph. They are all above the x-axis, isn't it? And some portion of the graph of sin 2x, sin 2x was this one, lies below the x-axis, right? So I can say that also. So I'll just write above and below here. Last observation, graphs of sin x and sin 2x intersect at x equal to dash in the interval 0 to pi. So the graphs of sin x and sin 2x. Sin x is the pink graph and sin 2x is this graph. They're intersecting at what point? They're intersecting at pi by 3, x equal to pi by 3. And the graphs of sin x and sin x by 2. Sin x is this graph and sin x by 2 is this graph. They're intersecting at what point? They're intersecting at this point, and this point is given by what? It is given by 2 pi by 3. So clearly we have got the answers to all the questions of the observation. Just let us write the application now. Well, this kind of activity can be used for comparing the graphs of the trigonometric functions of multiples and submultiples of angles. So this is how we have to do the activity. Ensure that you draw a neat and clear graph, and only then you'll be able to get to the correct answers. So if there's any doubt, you can always watch the video again. I'm sure it's going to be helpful for you. Thank you so much.